Well, hey everybody, welcome to Freedom Valley App Groups, where we apply the message we heard on Sunday in our home groups later in the week. This weekend, I actually got to preach on the story of Jonah, so in case you haven't seen enough of my absolutely gorgeous face, I get to share a little bit more with you today. And that's because we only get 20 minutes on a Sunday morning, so every week there's just more to it, more that we want to say, more we want to get across. And there's some of that in the story of Jonah that we wanted to share today.
Yeah, this particular story is really interesting at the end because we see a little bit more to the story that wouldn't be in like the movie version, maybe. But we see Jonah up on this hilltop, maybe looking down over the city, angry at God for not destroying all of them.
Completely angry that God is not a horrible person.
Yes. And it's because he is more concerned about how it looks on him. If he's not right about the impending doom that he predicted, that God told him to predict, and he doesn't care about the people at all. He's just caring about how it reflects on him.
So in these groups, we always try and hit a couple like key ideas. There's a few of them. One of them is relationships with others. And as we talked about what we wanted to mention in this video, what of the things we missed we wanted to hit. One of them was, we just looked at the story and went, why doesn't Jonah have any friends? Like, why is there no one in Jonah's life following him? David had his mighty men and like Jesus had disciples, but Jonah didn't have anybody with him on this journey. Everyone kind of hated him. They threw him overboard. He's swallowed by a fish. After he saves Nineveh, he leaves Nineveh by himself. Like he should be celebrated by them.
The hero of the story.
But doesn't have any friends. Relationship with others is a key component of who we are as people. It's how God made us, to be relational. And if we don't have healthy relationships, there's something wrong.
Right. Well, 1 Corinthians 13:1 says, if I could speak all the languages on heaven and earth, but I didn't love others, I'd be a noisy gong or clanging cymbal. It's saying it doesn't matter if you have all of the knowledge in the world or this direct connection with God, even
if you have
that
perfect religion,
Jonah has.
Like you show up to church every week, you tithe, you serve, but you don't actually love anybody while you're doing it.
It doesn't matter.
Worthless.
It's completely worthless. So it all comes down to love, really loving other people deeply, caring about them, putting work into relationships. And so how do we do that well?
Yeah, I mean, we said we have four things: relationship with God, relationship with others, influence with outsiders, and stewardship, how we manage our stuff. Jesus actually simplified it even more. He said there's two things. Someone asked him, what's the most important thing? He said there's two: love God and love people. And that's it. So if we can't do half of what Jesus commanded us, 50%, we're failing the class. We're not doing it right. So today in your groups, we want to encourage you, talk about that. How are your relationships with others going? Are they strong? Are they weak? Are you more like Jonah or more like Nineveh, where Nineveh has a whole group of people all going after something together? Or are you Jonah, watching from the outside, criticizing and wishing God would attack people for all they're going after?
Right. Let's really get into practical ways we can love each other and how we can improve on that today.
Yeah. So good to see you guys. See you later.
Have a great discussion, guys.
What?